Hello, RB. Annyeonghaseyo. Firstly, congratulations on your win today. I wanted to ask you how you're feeling heading back to your first international event in like 3 years or so.
Says he's extremely happy that he was able to win today's match and gain the seed first seed to Masters Santiago. And since this is first international appearance in 3 long years, he feels that, and he's looking forward to showing his new styles, new team play, and full performance.
100%. Talking about your new style, you're coming in off of playing with TEC in China. So, how do you say that your time in China has evolved your play style?
He says his experience with the CN League didn't really have much influence on his new play styles or what he's doing in Nongshim RedForce right now. And for his current rosters, he thinks that within their own plays, believing in each other and just trusting each other's individuals' plays to work as a team is basically solves the whole problem itself. And that's what they're doing right now. So, and it thinks that they're doing really good.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. They're doing insanely well. So, talking about Nongshim in particular, there's been a couple of roster changes since the team won Ascension. So, how have you been able to kind of fit into the team? And what do you think is the biggest value that your long experience in Valorant brings to this roster?
Since after he has joined Nongshim RedForce and becoming a new addition to the roster since 2025 Stage 2, feels that there was a lot of trial and error during the process of trying to make up the teamwork and try to synergize with each other. And it took a long time, and because of that, when they were in Ascension, they had to learn and go through a lot of processes with each other and as a team. And with all the hardships that had to go through in Ascension, things that's what made us the team that made us allowed to become a first seed in Masters Santiago.
I think that makes a lot of sense. So talking about you in particular, you're one of the most flexible players in the history of Valorant. I remember your duelist arc, and then now you play smokes, and I think you played everything in the middle. You used to be on Killjoy for a while. So how do you manage to? Of course, there's mechanical skill, but also how do you have the mindset to constantly stay so flexible and evolve as a player?
Says he has never really thought about that much, and just basically when he was within the team, he just complied with whatever the coaches wanted from the team. For example, if he wanted to do this for this map, or smoke for this map, or set for this map, just felt that for my team, I will do it. So yeah, every single one of those things is a hardships that he has to go through and he has to overcome. So because of the mindset, he thinks that overall within his career within Valorant, he was able to become such a dominant flex.
Talking, just a quick question. What is his favorite agent? What is your favorite agent to play RV in general?
He says at the moment it's Omen because he can just basically utilize his skills to go anywhere he wants.
I think we could definitely see his Omen having that potential now. So I wanted to ask you about today's game. I think that there were a lot of maps like Abyss, for example, or even Breeze, where you guys had an insane opening advantage with like 5 rounds in a row or something, but RRQ were consistently able to make that comeback. So what do you think is kind of the reason for that? And is that something that you'll have to work on heading into Santiago?
He says on the first half of the maps that you had mentioned against Breeze, we showed a lot more confidence in to take away rounds from the other team. But as we gradually moved to the latter half, I felt that there were times where they had to be more careful, but which they did, which resulted in the pushback by wins. For example, in Breeze, they finished the first half 11-1, and when they first got up to match point in 12-1, we showed a lot of parts where we were falling too much and we didn't really much. We could have taken the round, but they were not able to because they made too much mistakes. But what he personally think of that specific map is that even though it's only 1 point, he kind of wants to be more calm even in such situations. So with their mindset or fixed onto it right now, he thinks that they'll be able to give out better performances in the next tournament.
Got it. And talking about the current meta, I mean, since the initiator nerfs and you see more of chamber coming in, you don't see sentinels being picked. It's more of a double controller or even double duelist kind of meta. So, kind of wanted to ask him his take on it and what he thinks is optimal in terms of playing the game itself.
Personally, whether the double duels or double smokes, I wouldn't say that which kind of comes with the meta he prefers. But as recently, a couple of months ago, when Valorant implemented the patch where for most of the initiators as well as other agents, their basic skills that needed a cooldown turn was increased from 30 seconds to 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the initiators were indirectly nerfed. And for the teams that utilize that kind of a strategy and comms for utilizing that much initiator skills, since they were having a lot of hard time, which he also thinks that that's the reason why a lot of teams have shifted to a double duelist comp and more of a shooter central kind of a fight or strategy. And well, right now it feels like our team is doing pretty good on that part as well.